Without wasting your time, we are going to share top 5 best driveway alarm. The product links are in the description and in first comment. The number 5 on the list is Guardline. Guardline, to be truly prepared and ensure electronic security devices could keep running long-term without the grid, a solar panel that can recharge batteries or have appliances plugged directly into it would be an ideal source of backup power for this product. As solar technology gets better and cheaper, I dream of a day when Guardline develops a system with a built-in solar panel to keep the sensors charged from the sun. One really cool thing about this gizmo is the amount of customizability it offers. When you unpack it, it will have its factory settings, which are ideal for most uses and situations. However, a small switchboard in the battery compartment allows you to adjust an impressive array of settings. For example, you can change the sensitivity of the sensor to pick up faster or slower moving objects. You can add a delay or activate a mode that will allow the sensor to work at night while keeping it from detecting objects during the light of day. You can also change the sensor's effective distance, which can help prevent the sensor from things up that you don't need to be detected. For example, if you want the driveway to be the detection zone and don't want animals that aren't on your driveway to set the alarm off. I tried out some different configurations, mounting the sensor at various distances and with various objects providing interference mentioned on the box, such as cars and trees. The results were excellent. First, I tried placing the sensor on the far end of the yard outside our tall fence, meaning the signal had to be detected through both the fence and multiple walls of the house. I didn't notice much difference at all in the sensor's ability to pick things up despite the additional barriers between the sensor and the receiver. I tried placing the sensor in a new location even further away through some trees, but still well within the advertised mile range. The receiver still went off when I walked past the sensor. At night, the sensor seemed to work just as effectively as it did during the day. I tried adjusting the switch in the battery compartment to play with the light setting, changing it so that the sensor would only be effective at night in low light. It worked as expected, and the variety of options that can be adjusted with the internal switches is indeed impressive. But one of the best features of the Guardline driveway alarm is its ability to be paired with other security devices. We'll get into this next. The number 4 on the list is Yealink. Yealink offers a familiar design, a small, squarish box that must be permanently connected to wall power and acts as a bridge between your Yealink devices and your network. An Ethernet port is included if you want to connect it to your router, but it also supports a connection that Ethernet port isn't required. Even during setup, I got the Yealink up and running, a process that entails installing the Yealink on my smartphone, scanning and providing my credentials in a matter of minutes and with no trouble at all. While isn't a proprietary standard, Yosmart is currently alone in building smart home products based on it, so if you want to connect lighting controls to this hub, you'll find yourself limited to Yosmart's own smart plugs, indoor and outdoor smart in-wall switch, and smart power strip. The company also offers its own thermostat, sprinkler controller, garage door controller, and humidity and motion sensors in addition to the products I've already mentioned. Setting up devices is incredibly and surprisingly painless, and they all work the same way. Scan the code on the device. In some cases, this is actually printed permanently on the front of the device, not the most aesthetic design choice, and press the set button to complete the process. From there, you can assign the device to a room and make any additional choices, such as changing the name of the device. The exception to this is the remote control, which must be paired directly to a device and is not managed. I paired the remote control to the outdoor switch by holding down buttons on both devices for a few seconds, after which the devices were bound together. The number 3 on the list is Imacros. Imacros, with all this stuff set up, then what? Well, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, as that doesn't do a whole lot. Sure, I was able to use the app to turn the outdoor switch on and off and even control its 2 outlets individually, but there's not much you can do with the sensors. The water sensor sends a push notification to your phone and sends you an email if a leak is detected, and the door sensor does the same if it's been left open for a few minutes. If you want some semblance of a security system, you'll need to buy and use the system-like automation system to specify exactly how you want all these things to interact. It's not difficult to do any of this, but it might be more work than a novice would be prepared to undertake and to complete accurately. Actual is also supported, as are if you want to get a little more sophisticated outside of the ecosystem, and presumably this would allow you to mix in more sophisticated ceiling fan and smart blind controls from other vendors among other things. But if you want a full home security system, you'll need to rely on third-party products for security cameras and smart locks. That will entail juggling multiple apps at least during setup, but it's definitely doable. While those last few hundred feet were increasingly erratic, was not a problem that's in line with, and it's quite impressive if you have a sprawling mansion outbuildings such as a barn, an apartment complex or even an office building to outfit with smart gear. A solution like this could be compelling for most homeowners, however the relative dearth of features offered by makes it a hard sell over more capable and more widely compatible systems, such as SmartThings. On the other hand, if your property suffers from interference problems or includes multiple buildings where it won't reach, could be a compelling option. At the very least, the price is right. The number 2 on the list is OneBion. OneBion driveway alarm provides a solution to alert you the moment someone enters your property. It's not only very convenient but also extremely affordable. When movement is detected, the passive infrared sensor sends a wireless signal to the receiver from up to away. Adjusting the receiver, you can choose to be alerted by a high or low chime or alarm tone or instead with just a silent flash. What's more, the receiver can pair with up to sensors, effectively securing a large area. We offer many combinations of sensors and receivers. Just choose what best fits your needs. Don't mount the sensor in direct sunlight, as moving heat sources would trigger the or in a place affected by wind. When installing outside, it's best to mount it in a shady protected place with minimal changing temperatures, also avoiding mounting on or metal doorframe surfaces which may reduce the transmission range. I am updating this as I wanted to say how well this product works. Son-in-law has had shed break-ins in the area, and we gave him hours as he thought they may come back. His shed is way down a long garden, and I thought the receiver would not pick up from that distance, but it does, so he put it on the loud alarm and turned it on for overnight. Lo and behold, at this morning they were woken by the alarm. He shouted from the window and saw 2 thieves running away. On inspection of his shed, the door was removed, but nothing was taken as they had triggered the alarm as they opened the door. Very lucky, as 2 bikes and tools were there. Well done for this product at such a reasonable price. I have given him hours and have bought a second. I bought this to use as a back door chime for when anybody comes through. It was very easy to set up and works really well. It has high and low noise, which is good. This will have uses for the garden entrance to the driveway to protect your car. The number 1 on the list is Dakota Alert. Dakota Alert, it will transmit a signal up to 1 mile away to one of the 2 compatible alert receivers. This state-of-the-art sensor is passive infrared, which means it is triggered when the combination of heat and movement is detected in the monitored zone. Users typically place the sensor on one side of the driveway, so the invisible beam shoots across the driveway so it can detect cars as they entered. The sensor is outdoor rated. The sensor is not a standalone product and must be used with a compatible Dakota Alert receiver. For more information on these receivers, please click the links above for the Both of these receivers are indoor rates and may be placed up to from this transmitter. Multiple transmitters sensors may be paired with receivers, and each transmitter may have one of available tunes or melodies chosen on the receiver sensitivity of the sensor according to your needs. For example, the low setting will create a detection zone up to across. A higher range setting will create a detection zone of across. Turn the on or off when the sensor is transmitting. You can determine if you want to show or not filter on or off. If you are using the sensor outside, it is recommended to turn the filter on so it will filter out triggers from very small objects like falling leaves. Setting the filter to off makes it very sensitive and is recommended for indoor use. Reset changes the time between activation or triggers. It may be set to reset seconds after the trigger or seconds after the trigger. If you have a busy driveway or another area you are monitoring, you may want to use the trigger so it does not go off as much.